tiny, apparently insignificant choices in life. What's for dinner? Which seat do we sit at a table? At a restaurant? What do you watch? On TV? With whom? But every one of these irrevocably changes the course of human history. Jason Anderson, whose wife is far away from us at the moment, will tell you the story of how he met his one true love and the series of disconnected, seemingly inconsequential decisions that led him to telling the story here tonight. Give it up for Jason.
Thanks, Sandy. Yeah. Mike's next, right? So I'll tell you the story tonight of how I met my wife, which I know is cliche, but as Sandy explained, it's a bit of luck. It's a long series of lucky decisions that led to me standing here tonight, actually. It all started, where does one start? Probably in about 2009, when I was working for FIFA, and we were preparing for the 2010 World Cup. And the role that I played at World Cups traditionally was called FIFA IT Liaison Officer, which, if you ever get the chance to be a FIFA IT Liaison Officer, I highly recommend it, actually. It is the cushest job on the whole FIFA delegation list. You go to a venue, you hang out there, you make sure that all the VIPs don't actually have to talk to anyone that's not wearing a FIFA suit when they need their Wi-Fi connected or a printer connected or their phone won't connect, well, whatever the case may be. You're a buffer between FIFA VIPs and the people that fix the FIFA VIPs' problems. So I was walking into a room with a group of other guys that I worked with, and I knew the topic of discussion was going to be who gets which venue for the World Cup. And I quickly assessed that there were two guys on the team that had more seniority than me. And so I quickly asked them, what's your favorite city and what's your favorite venue actually for the 2000 World Cup? One said Cape Town, one said Durban. So I knew I was screwed. And I had to quickly come up with a plan for where I wanted to go, because I knew we were going to fill in the top two choices, and there was no point in putting Durban or Cape Town on my list. So on my phone, I quickly brought up all the venues. I looked on a map. I saw that Port Elizabeth, oh, that looks interesting. It's on the coast, kind of zoomed in. Oh, there's a lekker little bay and a beach, King's Beach. And so based on that, my top pick was Port Elizabeth. So fast forward to 2010. The World Cup's going on. I've been going back and forth, staying at not the Boardwalk Hotel, but the Courtyard Hotel directly next to it. It was such an escape from Johannesburg, which was the main venue, which is just the heart of stress and chaos that comes with the World Cup. Escaping to PE, where there's only a match every few days, and no one's really paying attention, and there's nothing really to do, and sitting on my little terrace and staring out at the sea after I lived in Zurich at the time, it felt like paradise. And so I was really enjoying my time. Got to know all the other people that were assigned to the venue, and hospitality, and VIP, and all of the, what do they call them? They're not escorts, but the pretty girls in short skirts that work in the VIP area. Everything was going just as I had imagined it on the day that I wrote Port Elizabeth on that form. So it's getting toward about the end of the group round, and England was playing Germany, but it happened to fall on a day that I had to go back to Joburg because I had to leave. If there wasn't a match for 4 days, I had to go back the day after the match, spend a day in Joburg, then fly back to PE the day before the next match. So I had to go back to Johannesburg for those 2 days. But there were some friends of mine coming in, and we all wanted to watch this Germany-England match, which was being played in Bloemfontein. It's the famous one, if you guys remember. It's the one where Frank Lampard scored the goal that wasn't a goal that led to all the goal line technology and everything that we have today. And so friends of mine are coming in, but now we've been in this venue long enough that the venue team has kind of formed cliques. And my clique is kind of the hospitality, VIP, the cool girls in the venue. And there's another clique that's formed around the marketing team that thinks they run everything. And one of my closest friends, a guy whose wedding I'm going to in August in the States, was flying in. He's on the marketing team, but he's one of my closest friends. We need to make reservations for somewhere to watch this match. Our first choice was to just watch it at the Courtyard Hotel in the bar area there. But for that match, we couldn't because the FIFA Executive Committee member from Central African Republic had just flown in his, I can't say it any of his team of prostitutes, and they had the entire restaurant booked out to watch the England-Germany match. So we had to find another spot. So I booked a table across the road at, does anyone know what the bar is across the street? At Barney's. I booked a table at Barney's for 8 people, including my friend Chris. And so that's the plan. Chris is coming in, he arrives, he gets to the hotel, I greet him, we talk about what we're doing and it's already time to leave because the match is coming up. And he says, okay, we're going to another bar it's downtown that doesn't exist anymore. And I said, no, we're going to Barney's actually. He's like, no, but I need to go with the marketing guys. I'm like, no, but I've got a table for you here. He said, no, but there's a girl that he ended up dating for about 6 years after that was with the marketing team that was based there. So he splits off, and it's fine. We go across the road to Barney's to watch the match. Down one seat, one person, so we've got an empty seat. Barney's is packed. We go in, we sit down, the match starts, and as the match is starting, a couple walks into the bar. Walks into the restaurant area, and the stadium manager at that time, a guy named Rob Hitchens, was with us, and he recognizes his friend at about the same time that I noticed that there was a really pretty girl walking into the restaurant. And they speak for a little bit, and they look around, and there's no empty seats, and finally, I signal to Rob, this is open across from me, and Rob says to this girl he's talking to, would you just like to sit over here? And she says yes, and she walks around, and she brings her date with her, actually. She's on a first date, it turns out. And they sit down directly across from me. And we strike up a little conversation. The Germany match is on. At some point, she is convinced that I'm German because I'm singing these German songs. And we're not really hitting it off, I have to admit. But then a commercial for the Tour de France comes on, which is going to be starting in July. And she says to her friend, this is the stuff that we're really looking forward to. And I said, oh, really? And just a quick background on me. I started the way I got into sports technology was as a bicycle racer. I'm still a huge bicycle racing fan. And so I said, oh, really? You're into cycling? And it turns out that, yes, this pretty girl across the table from me is the current Eastern Cape road cycling champion. So I said, that's very interesting. And about that time, it was getting to halftime, and I had to leave at halftime to catch my flight back to Joburg. And about that time, she got up to go to the restroom. And so just after that time, I got up and I walked towards the restroom, and as she was walking out, I said, hi. I think we actually got to introduce ourselves. My name's Jason, and I'm going to be back on Thursday. Are you busy? She said, no, I guess not. And she sent me a quick BBM, if you'll recall. She sent me a BBM, and so I had her contact details, and I went back to Joburg, and I told all my friends that I just met the girl of my dreams. I broke up with my Slovakian girlfriend, and I've been keeping at arm's length just in case I met the girl of my dreams in PE. And yeah, the rest is kind of history. She and Jed moved to Zurich. We lived there for a few years until I couldn't bear it anymore. And then we moved back to PE because it was everything that I dreamed it would be. And then when it started to not quite be everything that I dreamed it would be, we moved to Cape St. Francis, which is now I find myself standing here before you tonight telling this story. And I'll say I don't really believe in any sort of, I mean, I'm not spiritual. I don't think there was any sort of guiding hand in any of this. I do believe in luck, and I just do believe that I'm extremely lucky.
That was 8 minutes, but I'll forgive you because you had us riveted.
Well done, Jay.
And I'll have to tell you that his wife is sitting in the BVI at the moment. Yeah.
I didn't have time for that.
I know.